Kotlin has a lot of great libraries. You can also create empty collections, right? This is really important. So for instance, if I want to create an empty collection, I could say val call empty, and I can say in this case empty array, list, map, sequence, and so many other collections that some of them we haven't talked about. So in this case, I want an empty list. If I want to create an empty list, I can do like this, empty list. And whenever you want to create an empty collection of any sort, we need to pass the type. So in this case, I can say empty list of strings. There is an empty list. And I can do the same for a set. Get val empty set. Say empty set as such. And it has int, for instance. And then val empty map. This is going to be Boolean if I need to differentiate things like that. Okay. Now for an empty map is different because I can't just say, for instance, string, just only string, right? Because we need to specify as well the value. If I hover over, it's going to say 2 types arguments expected for function kv on empty map. So for the key, we're going to have a string, and for the value, we can have anything we want. Let's say int, for instance. And there you have it. So the moral of the story here, it's very intuitive the way the libraries and collections especially work, right? So always think in terms of, okay, if something that I want to create is a list of, if I say list of, as we see first here, this is going to be immutable. We can't mutate. Mutable, list of, then can be mutated, right? Same thing goes with set as well with maps, as we saw earlier. And also to initialize a mutable list, you say mutable list of, and you must pass the type. I just use a string because that's a simple type, but it could be Boolean, int, it could be anything. That is the thought process you always have to keep in mind whenever you feel lost. Okay, just think in terms of, okay, is it mutable? Is it a set of list or collection that I want to add to it later, or it's just a set one, meaning it doesn't change? Okay, if the values that you are creating and putting in that collection will never change, you don't need to add them, or you don't need to do anything. It's a set amount of values, set elements. Then of course you always use an immutable collection. Otherwise, use mutable collection. So I hope that what I have shown you here will give you the motivation to go out and start learning more about collections in Kotlin. It's really fun, and as you do that, I will encourage you to actually go and start learning how to implement these things by building very small programs that do something useful. Now you know how to do control flow, for loops, if statements, and whens, and so forth. So you are ready to start getting a little bit dangerous. So go ahead and explore more by doing small exercises here and there, creating small programs that do something fun.